A celebrity wedding in Rhode Island?
A look behind the scenes of our March issues.
Treat yourself.
Okay, so there's that Miley Cyrus song about buying yourself flowers, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I kind of took that as an idea for a shop column, and we are calling it Buy, B-U-Y, Yourself.
It's nothing I love more than treating myself
And a little wordplay.
And a little wordplay.
and buying myself things.
I know, and it gives you ideas of things to buy around the state. Sure, they can be for a gift for someone, but isn't it nicer to treat yourself?
Yeah, and it's kind of playing off of the same idea as our Valentine's, quote unquote Valentine's cover story of like, it doesn't have to just be for couples. So, you could use February as an excuse to like, spoil yourself on something. Go out and get that thing that you've been looking for. Maybe a little bit of retail therapy, you know what I mean?
100%.
A little bit of this, a little bit of that.
A little bit of that, a little that. And it's cool stuff too. Like, for instance, there's perfume from Providence Perfume Company, which you can buy already pre-made perfume, or you can go and make your own perfume, which is super cool and fun. So that's one of the things.
You like choose your mixture of scents?
Yeah, it's like a big deal with like little droppers and
I
stuff.
feel like I would mean well, and then it would just end up smelling
Just
terrible.
like absolutely absurd.
I would be awful at that. I'd be like, oh, all these things go together so well. And then you'd spray it on yourself and you're like, ah!
I was kind of surprised with what I chose. I actually liked something that was a little bitter.
Yeah.
And it like used like tomato leaf or something like that and flowers. So it wasn't like super sweet. It was a little funky, but fun.
Did you smell like a lot of things?
Yeah, it's really fun. We should go do it.
Well, so like I find that when I'm like smelling candles, it's like after a little bit, I'm like, I think my nose is gonna bleed.
I was
You smell coffee beans. I think that like sort of neutralizes the scent and it sort of refreshes. So she has that around, because I did the perfume bar experience. It was one of the first articles I wrote when I started the job.
Yeah.
And I went to the place, and Sharna, who owns it, she had me. I mean, it's very cool, and you play with all these little droppers. But yeah, I think she had me smell like coffee beans in between to neutralize the smell.
It's like what I figured it would be like walking into like a Yankee Candle, where like
I
you go
can't
to try to
walk
smell one of the candles, and by the time you walk out, you don't know what anything
I
smells
can't
like.
breathe
anymore.
in
No,
those
it's
places.
like my nose is on fire.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, I can't breathe in those places because the scents are all phony and heavy, but that's not what this is at all. So anyway, that's one of the things that we recommend to treat yourself with.
treat yourself.
Yeah, I mean, there's a whole list of stuff in the magazine.
Yeah, there's like a book, The Wedding,
Yeah,
which I've heard a lot about on social media. So that would be
the
a nice-
author's like a PC professor.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh, that's cool.
yeah.
Yeah, I feel like there's so many, and we've talked about them on the show before, and we always feature stuff like this in our magazines. But there's so many little like boutiques and curio shops, and I mean, even like florists and ceramics maker. There's so many makers and small places in Rhode Island to like find cool stuff.
Oh yeah,
To
like
treat
there's like
yourself.
To treat yourself.
treat yourself.
To knickknacks.
Ooh,
There's
little
also like
knickknack.
the Allume chocolates. Have you seen those where they're like the little truffles? They're all shiny and colorful and really like artisanal.
Cool.
So those are like a fancy chocolate if you want to, treat yourself.
Yeah, and I mean, obviously, there's the list in our magazines, which you can find in all four of them. But it's really just like a push to like, we're giving you some examples, but there's so many little stores and so many little things you could do. And when you're going out for like, if you may have already gone out for it, but if you're going out for like a group dinner, or even something with your significant other, and you happen to be in like, say, downtown Providence or in Warren or Wickford or Newport, and all these little shops around, wander over before or after your dinner and maybe get yourself a little something
Are
nice.
you talking about a jaunt?
A jaunt?
Maybe
take
you
a
know what I
jaunt.
say? If you're not going to support these little places, all we're going to have is Walmart and Amazon.
That's true.
So you walk into a cute little store, your admiring glances are not going to pay the bills. Just try to buy a little something.
So get your jaunt on and treat yourself.
Treat yourself.
Treat yourself.
Now let's take a break for a quick word from our sponsor, Rhode Island Energy.
With the winter chill upon us, let's cozy up to lower energy bills with Rhode Island energy efficiency programs. Upgrading to high-efficiency heating equipment can help you save up to 30% on energy bills. Rhode Island energy efficiency programs can help you save money on the new equipment you need to buy. Up to $3,750 back on electric heat pumps, up to $1,000 back on gas heating systems, and low-interest financing if you qualify. Cut costs, not comfort this winter with big rebates on high-efficiency heating equipment. Visit rienergy.com/save to learn more. That's rienergy.com/save to learn more.
So February's influencer is Samia Dunn, who, if you're not tuned into the floral world, you might not know her name, but she's becoming like a national voice for, florists and floral designers, and she's right here in Rhode Island. She has her own place. Am I talking in my usual?
No, I'm just laughing at it. If you're not tuned into the floral world.
I know, like I am. I know.
I didn't know that.
Is she still
Was a
going? Yeah,
full
she does.
world.
She still goes by like Flowers by Samia. For
Yeah,
the
there's
company,
Flowers by
correct?
Samia. She also has the Floral Reserve, which is sort of like a flower market that's in Providence. That's also part of her space, where all different flower farmers can bring their flowers to be sold, kind of like the Boston Flower Market,
Oh, it's cool.
but like our own little flower market. So she seemed like the perfect person to have as the influencer for February. Because, in Hey Rhody, we talk about weddings, and all the other magazines, it's all about Valentine's Day. So what's awesome is Samia also, I asked her for tips, like, what if you're planning a wedding on a budget? What should you do about your flowers? Where should you spend your money? And then I also asked her, what's your favorite kind of bouquet for Valentine's Day? So she offers these tips, which is super cool.
And all the behind the scenes in Olivia Culpo's.
Yeah, I was gonna say she
Yeah.
did the flowers for Olivia's
She
wedding,
did
right?
at the Ocean House. She did the wedding flowers for Olivia Culpo, as you just said. And
But yeah, I mean the wedding looks incredible. Obviously, I mean it's two celebrities having a wedding, and Samia's flower arrangements look just very. She does a really good job at like making things look pretty natural.
yes.
Mm.
It's not like over the top. It's just really well designed and can be minimal, can be a little more elaborate, but it just looks correct.
I mean, she's now like traveling the country doing these like installations, which is something else I asked her about. Like it used to be like you went to a wedding and there were like, flowers on the table. Now they're like
Oh, they're hanging from the
archways,
wall.
they're hanging from the
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
ceiling.
the ceiling, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they're like huge, and it requires teams of people, and it's just been amazing to watch her, all these years, just sort of like all these things that she's sort of adding to her work and resume. It's just amazing.
Yeah, ask her. I mean, Elise asked her so many great questions, and she gives really well thought out answers.
Yes.
Beautiful pictures from Olivia Culpo's wedding. It can all be found in the actually in all four of our magazines in the Home and Style section for February.
Elise, what's coming up next month in the magazines?
So much is coming up next month. Well, first of all, it's International Women's Month.
Yes.
So we have our Leading Ladies feature,
Yep.
which is statewide. Nick has been doing a lot of photography for that, and that's where we showcase, different women in business, different sectors. It's a sponsored content section, but it's really important to us. And then I'll also be doing my regional travel cover story that I've been sort of working on for the entire year. So now I just have to put all the pieces into place.
But
There's-
that's really cool. You got to actually like go to all these places this time.
I know. And what's very cool is Jenna and I recently went to the Hospitality Awards.
Yes.
And it made me feel really proud of those issues because, we put a different, we started doing this cover story in 2023,
Mhm.
and it was just in Hey Rhody, and there was just one on the cover, and I think I featured like 8 places. Then last year, I did a whole year of travel where it was 12 places. So I love that when we do these stories, I think we're kind of highlighting a sector of industry that kind of gets overlooked a little bit. Like people take for granted, like restaurants are on covers and homes and different businesses, but like hotels and properties, like tourism is a huge
Huge.
industry.
Mhm.
So I'm really excited to be able to be part of that. I'm thankful to the places that host my stay And it's just very, very fun.
Yeah, and I think people do take, like you said, they do take it for granted that there's so much to do. And when you talk about, a lot of time when people talk about travel, it's like, oh, I'm going to Florida, I'm going to Georgia, I'm going to take a trip to California, whatever it happens to be. But then when you're actually just looking for like a quick getaway, get away from the kids, do something with your significant other for a special holiday or whatever it happens to be, and that time comes up, you're like, oh, what do we do? Like, oh, we could go to Newport. Okay, well, what's in Newport? What are our options? Like, I think this kind of cover story gives people like a nice little outline of like, oh, here's some potential places you can stay, not only like during the summer, but on the shoulder seasons, and then small travel to like Connecticut or to just over the border into Massachusetts or, what have you. It's really like a good resource for people.
Yeah, I'm excited about it. And this year what I'm doing is I'm identifying seven travel trends, and I'm lining them up with where you can do them around here. Like one thing that's really popular right now is set jetting, where you actually go to a location that, like a movie or a film or even like a work of literature is set at.
Mhm.
And like we've got the Gilded Age right here. There's even tours of the mansions, Gilded Age tours. So for somebody who really loves that, Newport is the perfect place to do a set jet.
Yeah. And then, I mean, there's going to be plenty of other stuff to cover and plenty of other stuff to read about in the actual article next month. And then not only do we have Leading Ladies coming up, and not only do we have our regional travel coming up, we are also going to be involved in the Rhode Island Oscars coverage.
Yes. You're going to see Chris and I by the red carpet. So stay tuned for that because it'll be a good time.
I love it.
Yeah, I think it's just really cool. It's kind of the first time we're getting it. Well, now that we're doing more video stuff, it's the first time we're really getting involved in that type of thing, and I think it should be awesome.
Yeah, and you guys are such a natural at that, and I just think it's going to be so much fun.
Well, what's also really cool is from going to the Rhode Island International Film Festival last year, there really is such a film community in Rhode Island that you wouldn't think of, but a lot of great movies have 100%. Come out
Oh yeah,
of here. So I'm excited.
Yeah, it should be great. And I think it's just one more thing for everybody to look forward to coming up in March. Treat yourself.
Entertainment.
Treat yourself 2025.
She's the worst. Here's someone who's not the worst.
All right.